What is up, everybody? This is a Next Guy Up special. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Super Bowl special. We got Hensley in the house. Zach is dabbing back and forth. I don't know what that was, but we're and ready to go. How's it going, boys? How's it going, Tins?
Well, you said Super Bowl on a podcast. You've been sued.
Oh, dang it. The big game. That's what when I hear it on the radio, it's you're getting ready for the big game.
Guys, I think we should get back to trying to get sued. Like we did at the beginning. If you've been around from the beginning, you know that we started off this podcast intentionally trying to get sued by people to get us some exposure. I think we maybe didn't dig deep enough into that well. I think we need to go back to the try to get sued thing. I would love to get sued over using the word Super Bowl.
Yep.
And a podcast.
I think that
we would parlay that into millions of listeners.
Yes. And then we would hit them with parody law because we're not saying Super Bowl, we're saying Soup Bowl. So Super Bowl of soup. So in your face, Roger Goodell. I can't wait to see the subpoena come after us. He seems like the bear we'd like to poke.
If you weren't with us, that was our thing, was having fake sponsors all the time. And we would even challenge them to come sue us because we had no money. We still have no money.
We still don't. That's true.
Have fun suing a podcast that's worth $3.
Oh, it's accurate. Sadly.
So we should go back to that then?
Yeah.
I think.
All right, this episode is sponsored by Reese's Cups.
Let's go.
Get your peanut butter, your Reese's, good old Reese Cups. That's our sponsor for today, everybody.
Love it. I love a good Reese's Cup.
So speaking of lawsuits, wow, what a transition.
That is a good transition. Go ahead.
I know we spent a lot of time talking about the Tennessee sports teams and basketball and things the last couple of weeks. So we're trying to take a break. We're talking about just the Super Bowl, but we did have some breaking news happening this week. Tennessee has once again found itself in the middle of a national news story. And this one is possible. I love the fact that Tennessee is seeming like it might be the team to break the NCAA completely. It's I feel like I'm part of like a revolution of sorts. I don't know what's going to take the place after NCAA. Maybe worse. It might be one of those situations where like a king is overthrown just for someone else that's worse to take the place. But this coming week, there is a big time court case with where the states of Virginia and Tennessee have taken on the NCAA in some NIL stuff. Today, or maybe it was yesterday, there was a couple big things happen. Basically, the judge looked at it. Here was my takeaway: is the judge looked at it and was like, Tennessee and Virginia were running a temporary restraining order that basically said all the NIL rules no longer exist for this time until we've settled the matter. And the judge was like, probably not, because if something happens NIL wise and they get in trouble, they can just always sue the NCAA later on anyways. And then the judge, in his document that he kind of summarized everything, was like, given the evidence that I currently have, I anticipate that the states will probably win in this battle versus NCAA based on the Sherman Antitrust Act and things like that. So basically what everyone has been thinking is true. It looks like the NCAA is probably going to lose in court if it gets there. And something's going to happen. So just a little bit of a news. That's probably all we're going to do here. Love Tennessee taking NCAA to court. Love seeing NCAA just get wrecked time and time again over the course of this week. So good stuff.
I don't think there's any better college to lead the fight against the NCAA than the Tennessee Volunteers. So I'm ready.
We thought the entire sports world would rally around UT's football program here to take down our dictator, the NCAA.
We are the voice of the voiceless. We are the leaders of men.
Oh, you made fun of us for so long. Now look at us now. We're out here on the front lines doing the Lord's work. Pretty crazy. But it's a fun time. The other thing we can give an update on before we get into some hardcore Super Bowl. Another little banter topic here. We got the system going strong.
The system, baby.
Is it going strong, Zach?
Let's say on the record, Mason is not. He's not fully into the system yet. He's not. He hasn't drunk the Kool-Aid.
He's not bought in.
Tins.
How did we do yesterday?
He's on the outside. Yesterday was a tough day. You win some, you lose some. That's how the system works. It's system plays, Mason. You can't win them all. That it's not a system. You're cheating. You got to win more than you lose. That's the key.
And have we been doing that, Zach?
You're on record. It's close. I think it's close to half and half. We got a couple plays tonight. Seem promising. I'm anticipating a real bounce back. All it takes is a couple to get hot. And so we're looking for that. Last night was not a great night, but we had a couple big ones over the weekend. We had Kansas over Kansas State. We bet on that one, so that was a big win.
Kansas
for the boys.
State over Kansas.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. We had Kansas State beating Kansas. That was after
Kansas
beating Houston.
For the system.
Mason, system works. Proved it.
What's fun about the system? Listen. This is the part about the system that's great. It can handle some losses because when it wins, it's plus money.
It is like huge payout. We got it with a boost at like 245 Kansas State. So that was a nice yes. No, let me clarify here. I am a believer, but when they confuse me when they put in a group text, guys, the system might be dead. Guys, the system might be broken. Guys, the system's over. Like they say all these things and I'm like, okay. And then they're like, all right, so back to the system. And I'm like, I'm confused. I thought it was dead. And they're like,
no.
Appalled that I said that. And I took screenshots and sent it. They're like, wow, you're such a downer. And I'm like, no, you told me it was dead. Here's the screenshot. And he's like, well, here's the thing about systems. They can be dead and come back alive. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't take the System 101 course, introductory course for this. I did not know that's how it works.
There's a lot going on to it. Did we bet Tennessee to beat Kentucky last week when Kentucky was at home? Sure. Why? The system is made to be broken. Here, you listen. We don't know. Who knows? That one hit though. So shout out.
That one was against our own system, but sometimes
it was confused. Baby. I didn't take it because I was like, "That's not how the system works." And then they're like, "Tennessee cash, baby," and I'm like, "But that's not part of the system. What are we doing?" So it's like a pick and choose. It's just like, well, whatever we want to do.
Pick and choose, but system overall, it's been good so far. So
you can't give up. Can't give up the system after one night.
We're gonna keep riding it. Listen, it's fine.
The thing about the system is the system on a Tuesday night might be rough because it's all the. I mean, we had Vandy,
weird night.
Wyoming was another team we were depending on. I mean, these teams are so bad the system can't help them. They did not get No Child Left Behind. They should be left behind. They are terrible. They deserve to probably not get back in the system.
Could be.
So you're telling me that in the early 2000s when in Walmart they had the coat rack and the clothing racks that were the circles and you were a kid and you played in those, Vandy should have been left there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kids left behind.
Probably.
Did you never play in those? No, that was super random.
I just didn't know where your head is with that one.
Wasn't either. But I was gonna ride with you. I was gonna laugh and chuckle at whatever you said.
I think overall, the system is certainly something. We have a couple more weeks of regular season basketball to hit it with. Yep. We're gonna see what happens once you get into tournament season. Once you get into like SEC tournament, NCAA tournament, all that goes out. The home court advantage goes away. But we just have a few more weeks of getting to track this. So I anticipate some big wins in our future. System's never failed me yet, except for all the times it's failed me. So that's my official take.
And what's good about this, we're going to keep tweaking it and getting the system more improved because next season the system will be green.
I can't wait for. I think we're at least almost green.
I think we're
Maybe not.
probably green.
Get a couple wins is all we need. Can't wait for college football season because I'm maybe a different system. I'm gonna crunch some numbers over the rest of this off season. We're gonna come up with a maybe not just a home field advantage, but something we can track, and it's cooking already. I'm starting to get the wheels turning on it.
DraftKings is gonna help us get sued to put us out because now they're scared.
Yeah, I think they might be a little scared.
Yeah. Should we tell them that the system is officially donezo when March Madness starts? Because you did say that in a text.
Right. Well, it is because there's no more home courts. Nobody's at home anymore. No one's in there. So
I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that
basketball system is done.
Right.
Yes.
There might be a March Madness system.
Could be something there.
Maybe
you always bet the lower seed. Maybe.
Always, no matter
There's
what.
Something there.
That'll only work against Purdue. Shout out Kyle.
Okay, well that was enough call. I said I wasn't gonna talk about it much, and then I ranted for a while the system. So, guys, there's a big game this week, huh?
There might be a super game this Sunday. I don't know. All right, here we go. We're diving in. Mason.
Yes.
I want to hear your prediction because I was looking here at the notes and it says seems so next to your name. I want to know what that means. I put the team I think is going to win. You said seems so.
Also, Zach didn't put anything, which checks out.
It's all up here, Mason.
I don't expect Zach to fill out the NFL parts.
No, I was gonna type out this big old thing, but then I just stopped after 2 words and was like, "I'm done. Never mind."
You quit.
I quit. No, it seems so obvious. There's a fill in the blank. So I had seems so, and I couldn't. Seems so obvious to go with the Chiefs, right? Everybody is like, okay, if you break it down, I heard so many podcasts today, and I saw on on TV and everything. If you break down these subcategories, best head coach, and who's been there the longest, Andy Reid. Quarterback for quarterback, who's the best? Patrick Mahomes. If you talk about best kicker, even Butker. Best defense. A lot of people are going, it's kind of a 50-50, but a lot of people are giving the Chiefs. So it's like literally, if you check off every like subcategory, it almost seems, and why are they an underdog? And why the public is on them so much, and the numbers it's actually moved in their favor, like in the public's favor. Like it's not moved a whole lot to where it's even. It's still a 2-point underdog, and a lot of people are going on the Chiefs. So it seems so obvious. And it makes me nervous because everybody was on the Chiefs when they played the Bucks, except for my brother Matthias. And I remember at the very end where he was one of the ones that actually he did well because he took the Bucks, and it seemed so obvious for the Chiefs to win that game, and they didn't. It almost seems like that now. Or I remember the Patriots-Giants games. Everybody's like, the Giants don't have a chance. They won both of those. So that's my thing. Like I don't have any metrics. I'm just telling you, it makes me nervous. So that's why it makes me want to lean towards the Niners, because if I had to bet for my life, like if you were literally like for your life, pick a team, I'd be like, I don't know. I just feel like the whole world is on the Chiefs, and Vegas would be taking the biggest bath of all time. Swifties are going to be making a DraftKings account and just dropping the bag on the Chiefs blindly, not knowing who the starting running back is. So I'm just saying, I feel like it's a trap. As my favorite quote from Star Wars, it's a trap. But that's my rant. I'm just telling you, it feels like a trap to me.
Okay, here's what I got something for you guys.
Okay.
Prediction.
Oh, we're here for
it is.
He didn't have a single thing written in
it's up. It's been up here though. It's all been up here.
In the dome.
You guys familiar with this is gonna get off the rails for a second. You familiar with the Harry Potter franchise?
Never heard of it. What's that?
Book 4. This is Goblet of Fire. At the beginning of it, there is a Quidditch World Cup match. Bulgaria versus Ireland. My guy Victor Crumb catches the snitch, but Bulgaria loses. That's going to be Christian McCaffrey and the 49ers. Christian McCaffrey's going off. He's going to get a jillion rushing yards. Because I think that's going to be the game plan. The game plan for 49ers is don't put the ball in Purdy's hands. I don't think anyone wants that. That's the game plan to lose quickly. I think the game plan is let Christian McCaffrey cook. He's going to get 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. That's my prediction right there. 3 touchdowns. It's not enough, though. At what cost? Chiefs dub. Chiefs are the better team overall. So that's my prediction. I think Chiefs just win on all sides of the game. Christian McCaffrey's going to go off. There it is.
Try to find a better comparison anywhere on any other podcast than
You
that.
said I wasn't prepared.
By the way, I just finished the second book, and I started in 2020 when COVID happened. So that's where we're at. I finished it last week, everybody.
Good work, Mason. All right.
You're welcome. All right,
It's a big four. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Tinsley, first of all, before you start, how'd you feel about what I said? And then, because sometimes you chime in and you were shaking your head. And then, how'd you feel about Zach? And then I want to hear yours.
Okay.
Because I like to get some like confirmation,
right,
from either of you.
I get being worried that the public is on the Chiefs, and the line has not moved. Normally, that's something that would make you, okay, Vegas isn't moving the line because they feel pretty confident in the fact that the 49ers are the better team. To that, I say, have you watched this 49ers team the last 2 games? They have been in knockout, drag-out fights. Could have lost both their playoff games. Ended up winning, but you could chalk that up to the Lions being overly aggressive and not kind of conserving the win by taking points with field goals and things like that. So I get being nervous because Vegas is seeming on the 49ers side. I kind of throw that out the window when it comes to the Super Bowl, just because there's not enough margin for error for them to be moving lines. I think they're pretty set. I can't really remember in the last few years since we've been betting a line moving one way or the other, even with stories coming out of Publix on one side or the other. I definitely agree with Zach that I think the 49ers are going to – the way for them to win is going to have to be through Christian McCaffrey, and I have a couple of bets that will kind of show how far I'm leaning into that. But I still think the Chiefs are going to win because I think they have an advantage coaching. I think Andy Reid is one of the better offensive minds in the whole NFL, and I think we keep forgetting that Spagnuolo is a top-tier defensive coordinator who has 2 Super Bowl rings by out-coaching those Patriot teams with the Giants defense. He came up with game plans to stop Tom Brady, Randy Moss, Wes Welker, Gronkowski. Like those Giants defenses are the reason they won those Super Bowls. And so this Spagnuolo is just a great coach. And going back to that Bucks Super Bowl against the Chiefs, I think really what happened there was the Chiefs' offensive line was ravaged with injuries. Patrick Mahomes had to play a lot of hero ball, running around trying to keep himself from getting sacked. And what did the Chiefs do? They went and drafted Trey Smith and Creed Humphreys and spent a lot of money in free agency rebuilding that offensive line. And it's not been an issue since. And so, yeah, the Bucks were a big underdog in that game, but that defensive line was good and was just kind of like the one thing that could have stopped that Chiefs team, because I think they would have won that Super Bowl too had they had a decent offensive line. But so the Chiefs do have one weakness, and it would probably be their run defense. So that's where I do think Christian McCaffrey is going to go off. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a one-score game. And give me a one-score game with Patrick Mahomes with the ball in his hand, and I think that's what's going to end up happening, because I do think Spagnuolo, being as good of a defensive coordinator as he is, he will scheme up something to – he's not going to stop Christian McCaffrey. He's going to go off, but he's going to stop him enough to where the Chiefs can make plays to win the game.
I want to bounce back off of what Zach was saying about them using you. So both of you actually, Tinsley just said that the run defense for the Chiefs is not that good and or has some weakness, and then Zach just talked about how they're going to just use McCaffrey like crazy. I found an interesting bet that I was shocked at the payout. It's under the specials on DraftKings, and it is Christian McCaffrey to have 8+ rushing attempts within a quarter at least twice. Do you want to guess what the payout is?
Plus 1,200.
Plus 4,500. I bet a $5 free bet to pay out $225.
Is that on
I get it. They
DraftKings?
pass on DraftKings. They pass to him
Alright.
a lot, but if they are able to just run bully ball, like just be able to run it down the Chiefs' throats, and it's working for them, and they don't have to win with Brock Purdy, they're gonna. I think they're gonna do it. So 2 times it has to happen. 8 attempts.
That
It
feels
doesn't
like a
have to
lot.
happen in a row or nothing, huh?
It feels like a lot.
Yeah,
I know, but
it is a lot,
it,
but
it,
That would,
does-
that would have
it
to be
is.
like 2
That's
full
why
possessions, right? Because the 8 runs in 1 possession would be kind of crazy.
it would be 2. Yeah, it would probably be 2 possessions.
yeah.
But
Hmm.
it's a long shot, right? That's why the payout is so
Right.
high. You're talking about $10 to pay out $450. But I could see it's a good game script if they're trying to run the ball and they're trying to play like time of possession, they would do it, right? If they're
Yeah.
able to. So I just thought it was a good little long shot, but it's under
That's when the
the
offensive coordinator takes $1 million on that bet and then makes enough
That-
money
right.
to like go to jail forever. That'd be great.
I've seen
It's like-
them do drives where Christian McCaffrey, it feels like he's touched the ball 6 straight times just rushing.
Now, the only thing is, he can't do a screen pass or he can't do like a dink and dunk. That doesn't count. It has to be a rushing attempt, not a touch. So that's the only thing. I would be so confident if it was like he had, that many touches or whatever in a quarter. But this, I just think if they're able to run it down their throats, they're going to keep doing it. So I could see 8 attempts 2 times.
I didn't
So we'll
get
see
it.
how that goes.
I didn't get it in the doc, but one of my bets is going to be Christian McCaffrey under 3.5 catches. He's actually hit that total under like in the last 4 games straight. So they've not been throwing him the ball more, especially with Deebo Samuel healthy. He's been getting more of the bubble screens, try to get him after the catch going. They're really preserving Christian McCaffrey for traditional run the ball formations, not really passing him the ball as much. So I think that kind of helps with that long shot you gave.
Yeah. Well, while we're here, let's go ahead and get into the long shots, Tens, because you got some pretty interesting ones. I'll let you kick it off, and then I'll go ahead and do mine.
All right. So the first one I'm going to give out, and some of these we gave out last week too, but this is in case you missed that. Just want to make sure you get them for the weekend. But I have any offensive lineman to score a touchdown. Big price difference here. Plus 4,000 on DraftKings, and then it's also plus 7,000 on FanDuel. So that's why you want to make sure you're shopping sports books. I use the Pickett app. You can click a bet, and then it'll show you like where it's priced at all the other books. So definitely make sure you're doing that for all of these because there can be some big differences. I mean, that's a pretty significant swing. I took it on both because I had already taken it on DraftKings. So that's any offensive. I mean, that could be a little screen, like dump off pass thing that I have to do out of formations. It could be one of them falls on a fumble. That's a touchdown for an offensive lineman. It's a pretty big payout. And then I have the 2 exacta scores that I gave out last week. I'm not going to go search for them right now, but I'll have them in a graphic, or you can go back to last week's and listen. But those were both pretty big as well. And then first touchdowns, I'm riding with Mason on the one he's about to give out, but I do have a couple other ones here. Noah Gray and Juwan Jennings are both plus 3,500.
Mm.
Noah Gray, backup tight end for the Chiefs. He looks just like Travis Kelce, so who knows? They could get distracted, try to double team Travis Kelce. Boom, Noah Gray in the corner of the end zone. We've seen it happen before. And then Juwan Jennings, he's like one of these sneaky touchdown guys for the 49ers because they have so many weapons. You got Kittle, you got Debo, you got Brandon Ayuk, you have Christian McCaffrey. Line all those guys up in a red zone situation, and Juwan Jennings could slip out of the slot and get an easy touchdown. So at plus 3,500, I will take that. And then for my super long shot first touchdown at plus 8,000, Miko Hardman.
Mm.
Now, he has been taken off of punt return duties and kick return duties, so can't get it there. But Andy Reid loves this guy. You saw it in the Bills game where he got multiple touches of like reverses and screen passes and all this stuff. He did fumble twice. So he didn't see too much out of him out of the Ravens game. But I could see a little jet sweep in the red zone. Last thing they expect is Miko Hardman, plus 8,000. These are sprinkles because these are long shots. Okay. DraftKings special. Any player to have over 205 rush yards. This is tying to Christian McCaffrey. Like Zach said, I think if the 49ers win this game, it's going to be a Christian McCaffrey, like just Madden stat situation. And so this is going to tie into a bet that I'm going to give out later as well. But 205 yards, I mean, he's rushed for, I can't name off the top of my head a game where he's rushed for 200, but he's got to be close because he is a elite running back. And then my last long shot, I added this one today, race to 20 yards. So the first player to get 20 yards receiving, I went with MVS for the Chiefs because he only catches bombs. He does not catch slants or anything like that. He is used for play action, throw the ball 50 yards down the field. So maybe the Chiefs come out super aggressive and do a play action and hit MVS real quick, deep, and cash, and that'd be plus 2,200.
Found another stat from somebody else, not myself, but MVS ran a season high 96% of the routes last game, and he has taken snaps away from. We don't need to talk about it, but it's a little sneak peek for somebody else. Had 62 and 38 yards in the last two games. His over under is 20.5 yards. So if you're expecting that bet that Tinsley had, you might as well double dip on the over 20.5 yards.
Yeah.
So let's see, what was I going to do? Did you have anything else to those tens?
No, nope.
Okay, before I go on to mine, I wanted to see if Zach wanted to talk about his little hedge situation, so everybody is, in with his bet as well, kind of keeping up with it.
Oh, my hedge situation, right? So
Yes.
I made a trip to Kentucky to jump on the Bet 365 app. You got a little some bonus bets, so I used those to make a couple of bets for Super Bowl. So I only have two bets going right now. The first one, I just threw $100 because you got $150 total in bonus bets. I put $100 on Chiefs money line because I think that's going to happen. So I feel pretty good about that. But then, so I put the other $50 on a parlay of 49ers money line and Christian McCaffrey over 90.5 rushing yards. And so that paid out a little bit better. It helped me kind of even that out. So I feel pretty good about something winning there. Whether it's Chiefs or 49ers, I think Chiefs still probably win, but I really like the option. I do think I'm going to sprinkle some Christian McCaffrey MVP stuff on my DraftKings. So
your theory is you can't see the 49ers winning that game unless McCaffrey goes off.
Right.
So he'll need the 90 yards.
Which I kind of got that from Tins, but I think that's true.
Yeah.
The highest MVP odds on 49ers is Brock Purdy. I think he was at plus 175 on DraftKings. I mean, part of that is just that you always or plus 275 maybe. You always expect that the winning quarterback has the best chance of winning MVP, obviously. But I really think there's a good chance of a really mediocre performance by Brock Purdy. That's been pretty out on par for the season. and a pretty stellar performance elsewhere, kind of lifting the 49ers up. So,
All right. Well, I'll go with my long shot then. I'm going to skip to, I want to transition over to my MVP long shot because Zach just said if we're going to get some not so good performance by Brock Purdy, could there be a quarterback change? Could there be an injury? I found so many I've been like diving deep, and there's like Vegas insiders, and there's been some articles out there. Sam Darnold plus 31,000 to win MVP. I know it's a long shot, but that's what this is. Um, uh, Basically, so I went with QBs have a better probability of winning, like Zach just talked about. 10 of the last 15 MVPs are going to the quarterback position. So that's where I'm going. Sam Darnold. I was gonna buy a Sam Darnold jersey, but it was $31, and I was like, I could just take that $31 and bet him to win MVP. So then I didn't bet $31 on him to win, but so far, let me tell everybody just so that they're all invested. DraftKings did if you bet $10, you get a $10 bonus bet. And so what I did is I bet $10 on Sam Darnold to win MVP. At the payout was $2,000, and then I took the free bonus bet and put it on there to pay out $2,000. So I basically bet $10 on Sam Darnold to win MVP to pay out $4,000. Might be the craziest bet I've ever taken, but I'm a huge Sam Darnold fan right now. He really does have what it takes to like hold the ship down, to keep the ship afloat if they did win a game. So big Sam Darnold fan right now. Go Sam Darnold.
You're hoping Brock Purdy like has a freak accident getting out of like the hotel Sunday morning, like, oh, he's fallen and broken his leg, and now Sam Darnold has to start. Like that's what you're hoping for.
But I think go
ahead.
Well, here's the thing with that though. If it's a pretty close game and Purdy gets hurt, or if Purdy is playing like trash and gets benched, which would be wild. But if something crazy happened and then Darnold comes in and even plays decently good and 49ers win, he's automatically has the MVP.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even matter if he plays good. If he comes in and then the team wins, he gets it, because it's like
that's why everybody needs to bet this. So Vegas is so afraid of this because of how much the payout is, and if this slim chance of this happening actually happens, they are going to be hurting. So everybody take this with me. Zach, you in?
I'm not sprinkle on there. I'll sprinkle a little bit.
All right.
Listen,
You helped me out on that a little bit. You agreed with it. If he comes in, you're right. He's got to win it. If they win that game, go ahead, Tens.
I was just saying. I mean, you're the guy who bet on the Vikings to win the Super Bowl when Sam Darnold was, or when Josh Dobbs was the quarterback. I don't see why you would be afraid to take this bet.
I'm not afraid. Love a long shot, baby.
Okay, so my other long shot here. I said at the last episode, I've hit 2 of the last 3 Super Bowl first touchdown scores. Let's make it 3 out of the last 4 this season. I'm going to go with the big, reliable receiver for the Chiefs, Justin Thomas. You guys thought I was going to go Travis Kelce there, didn't you?
His name's not Justin Thomas.
Justin Thomas. I feel like everyone is going to be betting Travis Kelce. And yes, go ahead.
Justin Thomas, the golfer?
Wait, did I say that wrong?
Yeah.
Oh no, I just butchered it. Justin Watson. Dang it. I was thinking the golfer. All right, we're already off to a good start, everybody. And that's why this is a podcast. Zach just took his hand to his forehead. Like, are you serious right now? Justin Watson. Yeah, I'm already rattled. This is great. So, Tinsley already talked about it, but if Travis Kelsey gets double covered, then we're looking at a situation where somebody else could be open in the end zone. So, anybody listening is like, why would I listen to that guy at this point? He took Sam Darnold MVP and then just took a golfer to get the first touchdown. Tinsley's laughing so hard he can't. Why didn't you proofread this for me? I even put that in. Okay, so my regular bets for the season. Give me Kyle Juszczyk over 4.5 receiving yards. He has reached this in 5 of the last 6 games he has played. So that's where I'm going at with that one. If you want to sprinkle a little bit, he had last game against the Lions, he had 33 yards receiving. So I'm going to sprinkle for him to have 25 yards at plus 550.
All right. Sorry, I'm back.
He's back.
All right. Touching back on Watson first touchdown, I did take this
Yes.
with Mason. I
Thank
do
you.
agree. The Chiefs, I think if you watch a lot of games where they get into the goal line situation, everyone wants to bet on Travis Kelsey to score the first touchdown, but it is normally one of these guys. I have bet on Travis Kelsey before and been burned because Justin Watson or whatever that guy I took. I can't even think. Noah Gray.
Noah
Noah
Gray.
Gray has scored the first touchdown. So I like both those picks as long shot first touchdown scores. Kyle Juszczyk. Mason called me yesterday
Yes. Yep.
uh, and saying, I was thinking the same thing. I was looking for this line too. It originally opened at what, 3.5?
It was originally
2.5.
2.5 with the juice. Then it
Yeah.
was 3.5, and now it's 4.5 because other people were taking it.
We both took this today. I love this. He has been really involved here the last few weeks, like Mason was talking about in the receiving game. He's kind of lining up as like a second tight end. So just causing another mismatch because they have so many weapons you have to think about. The last thing you're thinking about is Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback.
Yeah.
And he's an athletic fullback too. Like, I mean, he could play running back honestly if he wanted to. So I love that. I took the plus 25 receiving yards as well at plus 550. I mean, that's just feels free at that point. He's going to catch. He could catch one medium sized pass in the middle and get some yak, and there we go.
Mm-hmm.
We've cashed. All right. Were those the singles you wanted to give, and then you kind of want to just roll like we go back and forth on mine? I know you're taking some of mine. I know they're kind of
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to go down the line of yours, but real quick, is my life a joke, everybody? I mean, I can't get anything right.
It's fine.
With the
Because when he cashes the first touchdown, that's all anyone's going to think about is
Justin
Watson.
Thomas. It's pretty good. All right, go ahead.
All right. First bet we're rolling with is Chiefs money line. Like I've talked about, it's the better quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is an underdog. Just feels like a good investment opportunity at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's like buying Apple in the 90s. Then you become a millionaire one day. That's kind of where I'm rolling with that.
You've hit on them being an underdog in the last 2 games, by the way. They were underdog last 2 games, and you bet them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many more times we're ever going to get Patrick Mahomes as an underdog. It's starting to feel like Tom Brady. Like, even when a team is projected better than the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes makes that difference. So
yeah,
plus 105. I just looked at it. It's plus 102 now. Get it while you can. It might move. I think it'll still stay plus no matter what. The second bet I'm going to take, which isn't fun. This is not a fun bet for the Super Bowl because you're rooting for points. But I'm going to go with the under 47.5. I just feel like we got 2 teams. The Super Bowl, it's high stress. These teams have had 2 weeks to prepare for each other. Spagnuolo is a very good defensive coordinator as far as the Chiefs side. And the 49ers do have talent all over their defense. And the Chiefs have really been kind of more of a low-scoring team this year. They scored 0 points last week the last game against the Ravens in the second half because they didn't have to. Their defense kind of took care of business. So under 47.5, I like that because I do feel like it'll be a low-scoring, one-score game. All right, and then this is a big one. Zach's kind of talked about it. This is a bet that kind of contradicts my first bet with Chiefs money line, but I think the only way the 49ers win this game, like we've talked about, Christian McCaffrey is going to have a all-time Super Bowl performance. And so at plus 475 on DraftKings to win Super Bowl MVP, I feel like he'd have to have like a James White is kind of where I went with this. James White in the Falcons Patriots Super Bowl won MVP because yes, Tom Brady was the leader of the comeback, but James White scored all the touchdowns. He made the big plays and he won Super Bowl MVP. So it's not like it's uncommon. Like it does feel like it's a quarterback award most times, but they have given it to skill position players that are the reason their teams won. If Brock Purdy goes a pedestrian 18 of 24 for 225 yards and maybe a touchdown, but Christian McCaffrey does what we all think he's going to do, they're going to give it to Christian McCaffrey, who's in the MVP race for regular season as well. So he has been the most valuable player to their offense all season long anyway. So I don't see why he couldn't win it in the Super Bowl. At plus 475, it is somewhat of a hedge opportunity if you are riding on the Chiefs to take that Christian McCaffrey MVP to kind of help balance that out. All right.
I would like the record to reflect that I stole that take from Tins. So shout out to Tins. He's been on the Chris McCaffrey train all along. I went first so I could claim it for a little bit. This was Tins' take all along, though.
I mean, I'm waiting for Thursday night because he better win Offensive Player of the Year to cash that Future Friday.
It was a Future Friday, baby.
I was plus 1,600. Going to give me some more bullets in the gun for Sunday, per se. Some more units to throw around responsibly, unresponsibly. All right. So far, so good. Mason, anything you want to touch on there? Okay. Do you hate that underpick? Because I hate it.
Yeah, it's one of those that it's like, well, here's the thing. If it cashes, then you're happy about it. But if not, then hopefully there was a lot of points scored for all of your other anytime touchdowns, first touchdowns, yards overs.
Right.
So it's almost like a somewhat hedge, but you could still cash both of them. So
if it goes over that, then it's probably a fun game. Like both teams were scoring, it was a fun game. But if not,
if it wasn't a fun game, then you cashed your bet. Yeah.
That's kind of my logic on it, and everything else I said too. Okay, cool. Rashee Rice, this guy has become one of Patrick Mahomes' favorite targets outside of Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
We've kind of been waiting really this is like the second year where we're waiting for another receiver to step up and be a consistent target for Patrick Mahomes. Rookie out of SMU, Rashee Rice, has really stepped up this year, gotten better as the year has gone on. So I'm taking him over 66.5 yards receiving. I mean, that could go up by the time this episode comes out. It's probably already up. I mean, I would say I feel comfortable taking it up to 72.5 yards.
Yeah.
That's where after that, I'd maybe pump the brakes.
So I like that a lot because of the fact that outside of Travis Kelce, does he have anybody reliable? I mean, Kadarius Toney has not been there. MVS, we were talking about his but his over under is 20. So if you technically think if he's going to get 20 yards, he's not going to be like taking targets away from Rashee Rice. The only one that you can think of is Kelce. So unless they run the ball a lot. So I do like that one as well.
And they've shown Rice is really good. He's a very good athlete and really good like yards after catch guy. They've been throwing a lot of screens and letting him just kind of work and see what he can make out of a play.
Yeah.
I think against the Ravens, he didn't have a lot of yards, but he had like 7 catches. So, and the 49ers, you think the 49ers have a great defense because of Nick Bosa, Chase Young, Fred Warner. Like, they have names. They have a lot of names, but their pass defense is a little bit suspect, and they do give up a lot of yards.
Yeah.
So I do like that's one of the reasons I like that bet. Next one, I've got George Kittle over 47.5 receiving yards. This is another one. This is going to move probably before Sunday's game starts. You could take it up to 55.5. He loves to work the middle of the field. If there's one weakness in the secondary as far as the Chiefs goes, is the middle of the field. Their linebackers aren't great cover guys. They're very good at everything else, but they're not really great cover guys. And George Kittle is still a very good top end tight end at receiving the ball, on top of being a good blocker. So I like George Kittle anywhere in that range. Anything over 55 yards, I would then probably stay away or try to do a same game parlay and pay some juice to get it down. And then this one might be my favorite player prop, is Patrick Mahomes over 26.5 yards rushing. The 49ers do have a very good pass rush with Nick Bosa and Chase Young. Patrick Mahomes, there's like nothing like him in the NFL right now. Maybe you could compare it to Lamar, but it's a little bit different, where he can maneuver the pocket, make guys miss, and then he takes off for 15 yards. Like, you did your job. You covered everyone. The play should be dead, but Patrick Mahomes is going to run around, and even if he doesn't chuck it to to Travis Kelce for 30 yards, which is what normally happens, he'll just take off.
Yeah.
So I like for him to do this. His rush totals are always around this range, and he hits them pretty consistently, just because people don't consider him a running quarterback, because he runs around, but he looks to throw. But he will take off and get first downs on you. The only thing that could prevent this is if they're significantly ahead at the end of the game and he takes knees, then it would not cash, because that's what happened against the 49ers last time in the Super Bowl. He had cashed his rush total over, and then they had to take 3 knees, and on the last one he ran back 7 yards and it made it lose by 1 yard. So maybe a little caution there, but I wouldn't take it over 26.5 yards for that reason. Even if you have to pay juice, just take it down, pair it with something else.
Zach's fantasy team really lost to a nail down one
I
time.
don't want to talk about it.
Sensitive subject for Zach, quarterback knees.
Also, Tans, did you took this last week as well, or 2 weeks ago, right? This Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
And that one didn't turn out. I remember I took that one with you. That was a tough break.
That means
He's going to expose you.
Yeah, against the Bills, right? Was it the Bills game?
Oh, the Bills. Yeah.
It was the Bills or the Dolphins? I don't think it was the Ravens game. Gotcha. Maybe it was. I didn't remember taking it and being very angry because he just wouldn't run.
He almost had it a couple times.
Yeah, he was
a bad
close.
Hold call.
Yeah, he cashed it, and then they called holding. You don't call holding on Patrick Mahomes' offensive lineman.
The guy didn't have the script.
So
who does he think he is?
Ruined my bet. But no, I'm hoping for this time we're gonna cash. We're not gonna get so close. All right, here's some random ones. I bet no other podcast is giving out, but I am. Nick Bolton, linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't give these out on the pod or anything, but one of my favorite things to bet on is tackles and assists. I think Mason can attest. If you go scrolling through my bet slips in our draft group, it's like he's probably like, what is he doing betting on a linebacker for the Raiders today on his tackles? Well, because someone's got to get some tackles, baby, and they don't know how to price that market, I don't think. So Nick Bolton, starting middle linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs, over 8.5 tackles and assists. The fun part about getting the assist added in there is, even if there's just a pile up and he is within arm's reach of it, they throw the assist at you 8 times against a team that is going to be looking to run the ball with Christian McCaffrey as much as they can. His job is to tackle Christian McCaffrey 8.5 times. It is juiced minus 145, but I feel like that is a good bankroll builder as far as bets go. something a little safe that I think is going to cash that maybe it helps offset one of your long shots not hitting, because they can't all hit, but we're going to hit some of these long shots. We're going to hit at least one.
Sam Darnold, baby.
Sam Darnold.
I wonder if you could throw that in a leg on a parlay.
What, Sam Darnold?
No.
Oh.
You can't. By the way, I tried. Nick Bolton.
Oh my
Yes.
god, that's what I thought you were talking about. Throw it. I was like, you're gonna hit.
Yes, you can.
No, Nick Bolton.
If you are a same
it's
game
juiced.
parlay guy, you can do defensive players, tackles and assists in same game parlays, at least on DraftKings. That's where I kind of lean more for football bets. Just to be honest, it's a little bit, they let you get away with a little bit more as far as adding things together.
I like that mid-tens.
FanDuel does not like that kind of stuff. So, and then we're going to stick with one more defensive prop here. Tayshaun Gibson. Shout out my guy Tayshaun Gibson.
Shout out.
This guy has been in the league at safety for a very long time, was a starter for the 2017 Jaguars team, and he was an old man on our defense then. Well, he's still kicking in the NFL right now, starting safety for the 49ers. Over 4.5 tackles and assists. He has kind of moved into the box safety position for the 49ers. So he's very involved in the run game. He's a guy that they could slide out on Travis Kelce, to kind of help cover him. Those are tackles. Travis Kelce catches the ball, he tackles him. He's involved in the run game with Isaiah Pacheco. No one man ever tackles Isaiah Pacheco, so that's where the assist will come in there, because there'll be about 5 guys standing there all hugging him. That's an assist. So plus 110 for over 4.5 tackles and assists for Tayshaun Gibson. I feel like that's stealing at that point. Plus money for a prop like that, give it to me. And then I have 2 more. These almost fell into the long shot category. They're both involving my guy, Rashee Rice. The first one I'll give out is first quarter most receiving yards at plus 360. Rashee Rice. Kind of counter.
Because he catches bombs.
He catches, well, not really.
Kind of.
That's MVS catches bombs.
Yeah.
I just think a lot of the 49ers' attention is going to go on Isaiah Pacheco in the run game and Travis Kelce. You have to eliminate Travis Kelce, so that's going to open up things for Rashee Rice, who has, like I talked about earlier, really stepped up as another good option for Patrick Mahomes to target in the pass game. So to be the one with the most receiving yards at the end of the first quarter, plus 360. And then I also took him for most receiving yards in the game at plus 300. Because I do think that they're going to have to pass the ball to beat the 49ers. I don't think they're going to just be able to run the ball on them with Isaiah Pacheco. Just not how their offense operates. And even if it is a game where Rashee Rice maybe doesn't catch a bomb, but they kind of beat him to death with short catches, yards after catch. You know, he catches a 5-yard pass but turns it into 15. If he does that pretty consistently, we could be in a good situation where he ends up leading the game at plus 300. I think it's worth taking.
Those are some good bets. I like the Rashee Rice one because that's how's the corner that faces up against him?
Cardarius Ward is considered a weak spot for the 49ers. I mean, they've lost a lot. They've lost a lot in the secondary.
Yeah.
Starting safety went down in the middle of the year. The guy with the crazy name from USC, Yupunga or something like that. I can't think of his name. But and the Chiefs just have a very good offensive line. So I just see it where they're going to have plenty of time to pass. And Andy Reid just knows how to scheme guys open. And so I just feel like he's going to have the better matchup all day long. Because Fred Warner will be on Travis Kelce, and Fred Warner is a top-tier linebacker.
Yeah.
So I do feel like he's going to neutralize Travis a little bit. But Rashee Rice, I feel like it's going to be a Rashee Rice game.
Yeah. Try to find these defensive breakdowns on any other podcast. I dare you.
You won't.
I meant to say Justin Thomas to finish in the top 10 at plus 130 for the Waste Management Phoenix Open this weekend. That's what I meant to say. That was my golf bet that I was throwing in this episode, and it just got mixed up. Yeah.
Golf bets, baby.
Shout out. That's free. You didn't have to pay for that. So, but yeah, those are some good bets that we got going on here. We're super pumped. Zach, you want to tell everybody what we got going on socials and how you can keep up with what we're doing for Super Bowl?
Yes, I can. TikTok. We're gonna be heavy on TikTok this week. So we have a lot planned for the Super Bowl. We will be providing a lot of content. The content never sleeps over here. This is our first kind of an event type of like this sort of thing where we're all together doing a challenge, and so I'm pretty excited for it. I think it's gonna be fun. We will be on TikTok. We've talked about providing some of the content on podcasts as well, but we will be all over Twitter. We'll be throwing these picks at you rapid fire, keeping you updated on the system play. Just an update, the system is expecting to get another dub tonight. Michigan about to get us another dub for the system, so that's happening live. Shout out to the doubters, Mason.
Shout out.
So be with us there. We're trying to be a little more active on the social media, so come interact with us, come respond, especially we're hot on Twitter right now, so be there with us, and big couple episodes coming up for the next couple of days, so stay tuned. Have a great week, and we will see you on Monday, but also Sunday, every day. Okay, bye.